To fully understand how to organize your fingerboard and develop a workable blueprint for you to build your musical foundation on, there's 3 areas that you need to start working on. The first area is learning to play up and down a single string horizontally. The second area is learning to play in a series of vertical positions made up from different combinations of adjacent strings. And then the third area is simply combining both of these concepts together. To illustrate how to internalize this concept properly, we need a way to organize the fingerboard systematically into different groupings of string combinations. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this on a 5-string bass today. So the approach that I use is broken down like this, where we start with one grouping of 5 strings. So straight across the B, E, A, D, and G strings as one group. The next category is 2 groups of 4-string combinations, which is your B string to the D and then E to G. This is followed up by 3 groups of 3-string combos, which is B, A, E, D, and A, G. The next one is 4 groups of 2-string combinations, which is B to E, E, A, D, and D to G. And then the last area is one grouping of 5 strings individually. So your B string, E string, A string, D string, and G string. So what we're going to do is take a 4-bar funk groove, similar to something that you'd probably come across playing on a real gig. But the way that we're putting this together through this filter with all these string combinations is a training exercise. It's an exercise to elevate your attributes so you can understand fingerboard awareness much more and to a much more greater depth than you already have it. So this is a really good system to take everything through. We could take arpeggios and scales and do the same thing, but I like to take something that's a real musical statement and do that as well, because it really opens up a lot, makes you think a little bit differently, and it certainly points out your weaknesses straight away. So if we take this 4-bar funk groove, this is going to sound a little something like this. Just a quick insert to point out that when we go to play this and apply this over a 4-string combination, we're going to need to expand the line a little bit because the range of this groove does not exceed a 3-string combo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little fill at the end of this, and I'm going to demonstrate this in the following examples. Check it out. So after studying what I've played, what I want you to do is take this exact exercise and I want you to map it out across your fingerboard with these different string combinations. Start with a single string. Go to the different groups of 2 strings, the different groups of 3 strings, the different groups of 4 strings, and then the one group of 5 strings. And you will see how certain levels of difficulty will present itself on different combinations of these strings. You can also experiment with different fingerings, but really just stick to something that's going to get you through the whole drill. A lot of people, when they first start doing something like this, they think, wow, this is never ending. I'll never be able to do all of this. But the thing is once you start to do it, it sort of condenses itself into more of a workable program. So this is very important. Now, if you want the complete fingerboard blueprint, then you've got to get my book, The Sight Reading Compendium for Electric Bass. You can pick that up. Just click on the link over there and you can get that today. Now, the thing is, there's an old story. It's probably a bit of a legend, but it is documented that the violinist Paganini was such an accomplished player that he was playing a concert one night. Of course, back in those days, the strings were made out of cow gut, and what he did was was playing and getting into this piece, and he suddenly broke one string. So he then continued playing, didn't drop a beat, continued playing on 3 strings, and another string broke. And he then continued again, didn't faze him at all, continued playing on 2 strings, the same piece. And then finally a 3rd string broke and he finished the piece on a single string. So whether that's a little bit of legend or actually documented, I'm not too sure, but it's a great story about mastery and really understanding the instrument. Now, anybody who's been a student of mine on my bass foundation course or my 2-year bass mastery course understands that position playing takes years of work, but this isn't even half of it. Equally important is learning to play up and down all the different combinations of strings and then learning to combine all these concepts together as one. Until next time, practice smart, work hard, and play creatively.